my good viewers. I have returned from the hunt victorious. I got some new gear, and I even came back with some souvenirs. Like this. I wanted a werewolf head, but I guess this is the next best thing. It's a good thing I got back in time for my favorite holiday, Halloween. And since Halloween is one of the scariest times of year, I have to talk about something scary. Now, last time I said I was going to be making a Bloodborne DLC trailer review, and Bloodborne's pretty scary, right? Well, considering everything in that game can two-shot you, I'd be afraid if I saw a rabbit in that game. And if you haven't played Bloodborne, now is the perfect time to jump aboard, because this DLC is going to be adding a lot to the game, and it is also going to get a huge popularity boost in the upcoming months. The new DLC is called Bloodborne, the Old Hunters. Just saying that is sending chills down my spine. I guess we are finally going to learn about all those hunters that disappeared for some reason. Apparently the new DLC is $20, and that sounds like a fair price to me. Now let's get going, shall we? According to some first-hand impressions I read, along with some live coverage from gaming expos displaying the new DLC, I have learned that there are 3 new massive nightmare realms for hunters to explore, 10 to 15 new weapons, about 5 most likely more armor sets, and some new boss battles, along with some old bosses getting new abilities and or reskins. And that's about it. First off, let's just start with the obvious. This trailer is showcasing a new DLC for the game Bloodborne, so of course they have to show some of the previous footage of the game. And then the opening act begins. First, let's take a moment to pause this little scene here. First, I just have to notice the hunters walking here. They seem to have some new armor sets and weapons. We'll get to that later. Next, I also have to notice the melted bloody man Hydra? Well, whatever this thing is, it seems like a living version of the enemies in Yahar Ghul from the original game. Could it have a connection to it? We'll see. I also have to mention this blood. I mean, it's not like it's even in the title at all, but I just had to point that out. Next, we have this. Whoa! What is that thing? After further analyzation, it looks like the one-handed form of this weapon is some sort of pike or poker, and the two-handed form of it is a gigantic two-sided mechanical pizza cutter. As a side note for those of you who don't know too much about Bloodborne, all Bloodborne weapons have a one-handed form and a two-handed form. The one-handed form is mainly the weaker of the two, and the two-handed form is mainly the heavier and stronger version of the two. Now let's continue. Well, this area is clearly new. And wait, no way! Is that... Yo, it's that old bat, Gehrman! Unless they made a new armor set out of his clothes, that is definitely the first hunter Gehrman. This area definitely looks like it could be a new part of the Forsaken Castle Cainhurst. But yet again, we'll have to wait and see. Now this weapon, I feel, is going to be fun. It is just a flaming hammer that you ignite, and you sling it all over the place. Now that is awesome. Then we have a clip of a hunter with a seemingly new armor set, using what appears to be a one-handed version of the Burial Blade. And also, as a side note, he's fighting the Saw Spear Hunter in Old Yarnum. I just thought that was worth mentioning. Now we have our first glimpse of the bow weapon. I'm not quite sure how this is going to be controlled, but I'm sure it will be awesome to use nonetheless. And now we have a mixture of the saw cleaver and the threaded cane. So basically it's like a saw cane or a threaded cleaver, whichever one works. Oh boy. In this next clip, let me take a breather. This werewolf formation that this hunter is taking tells me a lot about Bloodborne lore. In the original game, there was the Beast Claw weapon, and then there was the Beasthood meter, which made you stronger if you maxed it, and you would enter some sort of beast state, but it was nothing to brag about. But now, there is an official werewolf form. I am so happy I cleared this up. I wanted to have a werewolf form so badly, and now we all have the opportunity to use it. Not to mention he's also crushing those gargoyle things, which I hate. Good for him. Then, already known information, it is now time to talk about this ugly creature. Anyone remember the lore behind that Ludwig hunter guy? Well, you shouldn't, because there was none. And this is him, by the way. It just goes to show you that all hunters, or even anyone else involved with the Healing Church, will meet a terrible fate. Except you. This boss fight looks really difficult. It is rumored to be the last boss fight of the DLC, but yet again, we won't know until we find out ourselves. You see right there? This is what I'm talking about. A single blast of arcane. In the original game, we only had this crazy Call from Beyond thing that took 40 arcane to use. Now we just have this awesome thing, and I'm very pleased. Now we have a guy with a shield blocking one of Mater Logarius' Skullstorm attacks, and he has this curved sword. Now from an interview I watched, this is apparently the sword counterpart of the bow. It is called the Bowblade, and this thing is going to open up a lot of PvP possibilities, let alone single player combat. Guy getting mauled by Mirko's wet nurse, no biggie, happened to us all. Now here is something that really piqued my interest, because this weapon is barely showed. So some dude is fighting the huge werewolf guy, and he appears to have something that looks like a hoe mixed with a spear. For some reason I feel like I'm gonna use that a lot. Now we have a clip of a guy wearing a suit of armor with a bucket helmet, and he is finally showing us how the pizza cutter actually functions in combat. He just revs it up and lets it smash. Then we have a flaming version of the cleric beast from the beginning of the game, and considering that his main weakness was fire, we are all screwed. Except for the fact that he is still one of the weakest bosses in the game. And the trailer ends off with a picture of what looks like to be the inside of a clock tower, with a huntress sitting in a chair acting as if she is waiting for something. I have a personal theory about this. Now I don't know who the huntress is, but I do know that the insides of the clock tower are most likely the insides of that huge clock tower that we all saw during the game at some point. And we also see this at the beginning of the trailer. I don't know what she wants from me, but whatever it is, I'm not gonna let her take it. And that, my good viewers, is the Old Hunters. I am so excited for this DLC to come out that I have checked the PlayStation Store every single day just to pre-order it. And let's just hope all this worldwide anticipation pays off. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next video. The hunt beckons me. It is time to run into the night and fight the beastly scourge. Join me, good people of the internet. All you need is ambition and a thirst for adventure. And $60. Hey everyone, thank you so very much for watching. If you liked this video, then liking it really helps. And if you really enjoyed it and you want to see more content from yours truly, then hit the subscribe button to get alerts on when I release more videos. And I have to apologize to everyone for not getting this video out before Halloween. Making this video was a huge hassle and took a very long time. But hey, it's still Halloween weekend. If you want to see some more content right away, then you can hit the annotations to go watch some of my other reviews, or you can go watch my Let's Plays. Yet again, thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you all later. See you next video!